Good morning, everybody, or afternoon, depending on when you're watching this. So, there's been a lot happening at the house. I'm going to go take a little look. If you guys don't follow the project on Facebook, uh, I'll make sure they link it into the description below so you can go follow it. Because we do post there periodically, just like pictures, quick updates, little historical facts about the area. It's kind of cool. So if you haven't followed that yet, go there. It's a group. It's completely open to anyone. But there have been some changes at the house. So those of you who follow the Facebook know this, but those who don't, the windows have finally gone in. So we're gonna go see the windows in person. We're gonna go see what else has been going on. I'm just getting ready to head out myself. I'm in my house. So let's get going and let's see what we can find. All right, so I just had to show you guys my daffodils. It's spring here in Virginia, finally. So I just want to show you my daffodils. I thought they were very pretty. I thought you might like to see them. That's my gardens gonna start blooming soon, thankfully. So yeah, so those are my daffodils. All pretty. Love spring. It's one of my favorites. All right, let's go to the house. Well, it looks like the daffodils have finally come up here too. Look at all those. I do not remember these from last year. But there also was a tree over here kind of shading this area last year, so that might have not allowed these little darlings to get the sunlight they needed. So it looks like we've had some tree limbs come down. We've had some really strong winds and rains in the evenings, so it looks like a few things got kind of knocked over here, but it's to be expected on property like this. There's the best porch in Virginia right there. All right, let's go around back and see what we can see. Well, I see one door. There's the side door, and there's a window. Well, there's going to be a window there. Wow. Now that's a big improvement. Look at all those windows. That's lovely. Now, you can see on the yellow part of the house, that's an original window. So that's the windows that were here when David and Michael bought the house. All these windows with stickers on, of course, are new windows. So they decided to carry on that whole look of the the 4 panes of glass with the 3 little dividers into the new windows to tie everything together. And these are very nice windows. Henderson's are good windows, I think. Man, it's beautiful out here. Just a beautiful day. Trees are starting to get little bits of buds on them, so soon they will be budding. We haven't walked over here in a while. I decided we're going to look over here now. Because for those of you who have been following along since the beginning, you will know that when I first started this project, right over here, kind of where my finger is, was kind of just a pile of debris. That has all since been buried and smoothed over. And then right about here was an overgrown garden, which you couldn't even save what was there because it was so choked out by vines and stuff. So that's all been smooth. But around this barn, is probably one of the biggest changes to the grounds, because from here all the way over to about those trees there, it was all trees and a fence. And now it's actually level. Because there was actually, if you see where that tree is there, there was actually kind of like a little bit of a hump to get up here. Now it's all nice and level. Of course, this will all have to be raked to remove all this little debris. But now these nicer trees that are left can grow. They were kind of not able to grow because they were getting kind of choked out by all this junk that was growing in here. You can see there's our barn, which now you can actually see it because it's not surrounded by trees. Of course, it's been boarded up to, one, keep people out, but two, to keep animals out as best we can. Because if you go back and look at the videos, we found that there were baby eagles in there. Not that we don't love nature around here. However, raptors in particular, which an eagle is considered a raptor, their feces is actually very acidic because they eat dead things, roadkill and such. So it kind of destroys stuff they defecate on. So it's not really good for your building. So we just politely let them finish what they were doing and board it up so they can get back in. The only way to really evict those birds, you can see here, those trees will eventually go because they are actually growing up and sideways from out front of the barn. It's not funny. It's so funny. Look how they grew. They actually grew up and around and over the barn. Isn't that funny? That's something. Just never know. So this is kind of what out here looked like. A lot of this kind of like ivy, undergrowth, brush, lots of debris, lots of fallen tree pieces. These like junk trees that really don't do anything but kind of kill out the better trees. So all that's been removed, and I'm sure we'll get back here eventually and clean this up a little bit too. So now let's go back over to the farmhouse and take a look inside. But I think now you can kind of see the concept and how much land there really is here. All right, let's go inside. So now we can really see a little bit more of how these rooms were structured. So if you remember, originally this was just kind of an open room. It had windows there, windows here, washer, dryer, hot water tank, and then this old freezer refrigerator unit here. So now when you walk in, there's going to be a door here, which then goes into this area, which is going to be obviously laundry utility area. So all this is brand new. There is Nothing here of that original porch. This is all brand new construction tied in to now the original house, which is now there. Okay. And then, of course, we all know the kitchen. Not much changing here. There's one of the windows. They probably still have to put that in. I'm not sure where that's going to go. But you can see this, again, this was an exterior wall that porch was up against. And then originally there was the fridge, whatever it was here. Stove shoved up in the corner. There was a sink situation here. And that was pretty much it. There really wasn't a lot in this kitchen. Now there's lots of building supplies in this kitchen. All right, but let's go look at the main room. Wow. Now that the windows are in, this actually feels like a room. It doesn't just feel like this thing on the back of the house. And you can really start to see just how much light is going to come in to this room. I mean, it's pretty sunny outside today, so this will give you kind of a good idea of what the lighting in this room is going to be. Very soft, very muted, but also very nice. Let's get a closer look at these windows. These are beautiful windows. They are actually wood. Very nice. These are really nice windows. Really like those. And these are just to hold the windows for shipping so they don't slide up and down. These will be removed once everything's a little bit more in there. And of course the plastic will be taken off. There's a film you can see right here, protecting them from scratching. Of course, we're just gonna leave that on for now. But these are really nice windows. And of course, this door leads to the outside. So there will be steps going down here into this little area here, which will be like a little, kind of like a little secret garden. And then, of course, powder room there. But you really can see now, and there's kind of like a little bump out there, which will be nice. You can put like a server there, maybe do a little bar situation or something. And of course, the original house is there. So this is just, looks great. All right, see if we see anything else. A whole lot's changed in here. It looks like they've cleaned up a little bit, moved some things around. There's some scrap wood. Some looks like some original pieces of wood mixed in with some new pieces of wood. This room is still an absolute mess. We'll have to get in here and get that all cleaned out. Let's go up. So again, you can now see where the rooms are kind of ending. So this is about the size I think the bathroom was when we started. It may be a little bigger, but I'm kind of thinking it's the same size. But now that this room actually has normal height ceilings, because it's kind of hard to see, but the ceilings actually were kind of right there. So that's a good almost 2-foot difference. The ceilings here are very low. David Robinson is a very tall man, for those who've ever met him. He's about 6'1", 6'2", and his head almost hit the ceiling in some spots. So that was a bit problematic for him. But these are definitely much nicer ceilings now. And it looks like they took out... So originally, when they started demoing this space, you could see where a window used to be right here. So it looks like they've removed all that framing. So I'm sure they'll put something back and when they put the wall back in. It's kind of cool. You can see house. So this house, for those who don't know, this kind of construction is what they call balloon construction. What they would do is they would actually build 2 stories of walls and put them up. And then they would put the floors in after. The one problem with balloon construction is if a fire breaks out, because there's nothing to stop it, it goes straight up through the walls. My father was a fireman, so he told me all this stuff. So that's why it's not done today. But the new part that we're standing in, that my feet are on, this is not balloon construction. This is normal standard construction. But you can see this is dead even now with this part of the house. So old and new. And you can see just, I have to fix that. It looks like something fell. I'm sure with all the banging stuff that went on, it's not surprising. Another great view out this window. We'll take all these screens and storm windows out and give these windows a good bath when it's time. Let's go around to the other side and see that room. So these are all the moldings from inside this room. Right there, it's like this kind of powder blue baby color. Now the doors that were here and in the other section were not original to the house. This one's a better one to look at. These 5-panel doors, these were added when they made additions to the house. They are not, they're old. I mean, they are wood doors, but they're not accurate to the house. So I'm not sure if they're going to put those back or if we're going to go to salvage yards and try to find the 4-panel doors like the house has. But this is going to be a bathroom as well. So, and this is a far cry from the little room that we started with. So the little room that was here was used by Mrs. Ward as a sewing room. So that wall that is now blank had a little window in it. There were 2 regular sized windows on this wall. She had her sewing machine in between it, or desk. So this room has definitely got more space now for a tub, sink, toilet situation, where the other room kind of didn't. You can see how they tied it in to the original house up there. So now the ceilings are 8 foot in this section instead of, I think they were like 7 foot in the other section. So it added a foot of space, which is always great. You can see up here how they tied this roof into the old roof that was just redone. You know, when you're doing these projects, you kind of just have to go with it. So we had to replace the roof that was on the original house because it was failing. It leaked really bad. It was causing water damage issues in the attic, 2nd floor, and starting in the 1st floor. So went ahead and had the roof removed. But then when this project started, they realized that this part that was here was not actually secure to the house, and it was not safe. So, of course, we want to make it safe and make it sound. So they went ahead and just went over the new roof with another new roof. So we're double roofed now. We should be good. So you can really see the bricks. These bricks haven't probably seen the light of day in 140 years. And look at this. This is like a piece of quarter round they put on to round the edge of plaster. Look at these. These are hand-hewn marks. So they would have taken like a little hatchet, and that's what calls that. Actually, not even really hatchet. It's like a long bladed thing with handles on either end, and they would have kind of scraped down the side of it. So that's kind of cool. But this was never meant to be seen. So they weren't too worried about these marks being left behind. But 140 years later, I bet they didn't think I was going to be putting it on YouTube and showing all the business. Well, everybody, that's the update for today. We're going to give the guys a little more time and see what happens next. Not really sure what's next on the plan, but I'm sure it's going to be more insulating walls. I'll be excited to see when the walls go back up, because then you can really get to see the rooms start to shine again. And when the electricity gets turned back on too, because right now it's currently off because there's wires everywhere. Not really safe to have that turned on right now. So anyway, that's the update for today. I hope you are enjoying your spring. Wherever you are, stay safe, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.
Remember to like, subscribe, and hit that notification button.